All right, in this section, we are going to be talking about mediated deposit, which is an optional setting for approval of works when they are uploaded to Hyku. So in order to manage that, we first have to access the administrative dashboard through the link at the top right of your homepage. And you can turn mediated deposit on or off on an admin set by admin set basis. So by default, your Hyku tenant comes with one admin set, which is accessed through collections, and it governs the rules around all works deposited to your tenant. And to get to it, because it's created by the system upon creation, it's not one of your collections. Even if you're the sole administrator of the tenant, you have to toggle over to all collections, and you'll find a default admin set. So if you edit the admin set, then in this workflow section, you have the option to set it up for a one-step mediated deposit workflow in which all deposits must be approved by a reviewer, and then also gives the reviewer the option to send that back to the depositor. The other alternative is a default workflow, in which case all works deposited through this admin set will require no approval from anyone else and will immediately publish at the level of visibility selected at the time that it's uploaded, but then be visible on the system immediately. Whereas if it's deposited, if mediated deposit is enabled, then it will go into a queue for a reviewer to approve it. And that also includes, even if you as an administrative user have reviewing privileges, you still need to manually review and approve a work that you yourself deposit if the deposited workflow option is enabled. So I will upload a sample work with mediated deposit on so that we can see how that notification and back and forth process works. And in this relationships section, you'll see that I can optionally add it to other collections, but it necessarily is included in one and only one admin set. In our case, we only have the one, and so it is set up with mediated deposit. So I will mark this with private settings, so we'll be able to see it in the video, but it won't go to the public even after I approve it. So I'm uploading this work, tells me that it's being processed in the background. And you can see that already, even though the file hasn't been processed to produce a thumbnail yet, and the file is not associated to the work, I assume that by now, if I refresh, we'll see, yeah, now the file itself, the PDF is appended, has not yet generated a thumbnail, but it's working in the background. But even during this process, this review and approval bar is visible across the top of the page. So if I select that, it will drop down and it gives me, because I do have reviewing permissions, it gives me these options. I can request changes. And so, well, I can request changes, I can approve, or I can give a comment, which will produce a notification to the user who deposited it, but will not require them to resubmit the work for approval. And all of those notifications will show up in this list here that you can access through the little bell icon, which we're not seeing the one that from the live one I just deposited, and that's because I am also the administrator and the user. But you can see these are examples of notifications from past deposits, and there's a delete all button. So if you just want to clear out this queue, you can see I have 35 pages of these notifications from just kind of approval or back and forth with student workers in the past. So those could all be deleted in mass if I didn't want those anymore, or if there was a specific one that I was looking for. And I try to remember, was there an issue with this specific file? And I can see, is that one that was approved? Was that one that I sent back for changes? Did those changes get made? You can search in there. Also, all submissions can be seen in queue form under tasks, review submissions. And so we can see that there are 3 here. These are 2 that were sent back to the depositor, and they have status of changes required. So click here, and you can see here's the history of the back and forth. One just says the first image was uploaded twice. One that says first, to clarify first comment. So the second one was just a comment only. But you'll see that as the administrator at this point, I do not have the option to approve. And this is because this is sitting in the queue of the person who uploaded it. And until they resubmit, I will not have the option to approve that. And then here is the, with a pending review status is the one I just deposited. Request changes, please fix. Submit that back. And see if that, if it picks up a notification that assigns it back to myself. I don't suspect that it will. But if I go to review submissions, I'll see that this one requires changes. And so now edit, no actual changes me, but I'll demo changes just so that we can see that a change was fixed. We'll see what the status of that is. I think that some of these options are not exactly intended for an administrator approving their own works or requesting changes on their own works. But that's the area where that back and forth happens. And then you can see there's also a tab for these are works that are not under review that have been published previously. There is no option to delete those, and these will only show up if you have mediated deposit on. So typically in my workflow here, I do not keep it on. And so many works that have been added to the system do not show up in this list because they were directly deposited rather than mediated deposit. And then a final note just to say that mediated deposit functions on an admin set by admin set level. So if you would like to have it on for certain types of users and not for others, you can create one admin set that has direct deposit and one that has mediated deposit, and then assign users who should be able to deposit without review, which typically, if you're the admin for the tenant, will include yourself, and then assign other users such as student workers or faculty contributors to the secondary admin set. So it's not a tenant by tenant option that's turned on or off. It is a function of admin sets and then the users you assign to those admin sets, the requirements for them to deposit works. So does anyone have questions about the mediated deposit function and settings in Hyku.
So there's a question in the chat. Can multiple reviewers be assigned to approve a mediated deposit?
Yes, that's basically a binary system where in the group setting, there is a specific permission that allows, I believe that it's, if we look at each workflow role, we can see exactly what's included. But yes, there's a specific role that admins have, and I believe,
I think it's there in editors.
yeah, approve, deposit and approve works. Yeah, I think approve works means approving through mediated deposit. But yes, anyone who has that can approve for any work in the system, although I believe there's also a way to delimit that by admin set. So you could add a user as a work approver for a specific admin set. And you would do that through that specific user rather than that entire group if you wanted it on an admin set by admin set basis. Or I guess scaling up, you could have multiple groups of approvers because you can create a new group. So you could create a new group with work approval role, with the work approval role, and call it, say, science faculty work approvers, and then assign that only to your science faculty admin set. And so you could do a specific group who's approving for that admin set. But in general, and especially if you only have the one default admin set, it has mediated deposit, you have 3 or 4 administrators who manage your tenant, and then multiple contributors who need to have their work approved. It's just an on-off switch, and anyone who has approval privilege will be able to approve any of those works.
Nick, I was hoping you could kind of help me understand or work through a scenario that I think might exist in several libraries, where you have someone who's depositing through a mediated deposit, and you as an administrator want to improve the record once it's been submitted. You don't necessarily want to send it back to the faculty member who put it in or the student. You just want to, add a subject or, quickly correct a typo. In that case, would you just approve it and then make the change yourself?
Yes, and you can do that in either order. So this one's already been published, so that's why I don't have an approve option. But say that this one had just come to me, I can just hit the edit button, go in, edit the record, save it, and then land back on this page, hit approve and submit, and it approves it. Which that has actually been, in my work with student workers uploading files, that's been my kind of working process. Is I catch problems, I don't send them back, I just fix the typo or whatever it is, and then I approve it.
Thank you.
I think that the back and forth is intended more for, you have kind of a complicated workflow relationship with, say, a faculty member publishing a preprint or something that's been through a journal. And so they're publishing things that you don't know the metadata necessarily. They have access to that, but you're checking for compliance to whatever your internal standards are and see, oh, they need to include this, they need to include this. And so you'll send it back and say, can you fill in this field with this type of information?
Does anyone else have questions about mediated deposit? Okay, hearing none, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording and we can move on to the next topic.